Why is Dangote refinery importing 12.6 million barrels despite Nigeria's crude? Is federal government's last-minute talks to renew Naira for crude too little too late? And what does this mean for Nigerians who now pay more for a litre of petrol? IPMAN President Abubakar Garima joins me on the show today as we seek answers. Also coming up,
State House of Assembly, where the governor, Fubara, directed his chief of staff to burn down the assembly in a way to avert the suspected impeachment. That evening, Edison was in government house with many of his boys, including the former chairman of Obiakbo, one Mr. Chijoke Ihunwa. I was there with them when a bag of money was handed over to Edison for that operation, though I did not actually know what it was meant for.
Former Chairman Obiakpo Local Government Area in Rivers State, Chijioke Ihunwa, whose name was mentioned as one of those allegedly responsible for burning the Rivers State House of Assembly, also joins me on the program today for his side of the story. You get two for the price of one on the maiden episode of Beyond the Headlines. Welcome to the program, everyone. You can join the conversation right now if you use hashtag Beyond the Headlines. Remember to tag at TVC News NG and at Nifemi Oguntoye. There are indications the Naira for crude policy of the federal government may continue, as sources say all parties involved in the deal would reconvene soon. The first phase of the 6-month deal involving the federal government, Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and Dangote Petroleum Refinery ended yesterday, March 31st, 2025. And this came as a report by S&P Global on Monday stated that the Dangote Refinery processed approximately 400,000 barrels per day of crude oil in 2025 so far, with about 35% of this supply being sourced from international imports. Well, this means the plant imported about 140,000 barrels of crude oil per day and a total of 12.6 million barrels in 3 months. What impact will this make on Nigerians if the Naira for crude oil deal is not signed for the next phase? Let's bring in National President, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Abubakar Garima, who joins me on the program from Saudi Arabia. I think we just lost connection with him. We'll get back to that conversation in the course of this program. Let's turn our attention quickly to Rivers State, where a political earthquake is shaking the state to its core. I'm sure you've seen that video. The former head of service, Dr. George Nweke, once Governor Fubara's trusted insider, has dropped a bombshell, alleging the governor ordered the burning of the state assembly, plotted economic sabotage, and funded militants to control Nigeria's oil pipelines. But tonight, one of the men directly named in these explosive claims steps forward to tell his side of the story. Former Obiakpo Local Government Area Chairman Chijioke Ihunwa, a key Fubara ally, was accused by name in Dr. Nweke's press conference of being in the room when a bag of cash changed hands to execute the assembly arson. Tonight, for the first time, Mr. Ihunwa responds to these allegations. Is Dr. Nweke lying, and does Governor Fubara have a secret militant strategy? First, let's replay exactly what Dr. Nweke said.
It all started with the State House of Assembly, where the governor, Fubara, directed his chief of staff to burn down the assembly in a way to avert the suspected impeachment. That evening, Edison was in government house with many of his boys, including the former chairman of Obiakbo, one Mr. Chijoke Ihunwa. I was there with them when a bag of money was handed over to Edison for that operation, though I did not actually know what it was meant for.
Mr. Chijioke Hunwowo joins us on the program from Port Harcourt in Rivers State. Thank you for joining us on the show this hour. That's your name, your reputation. Did you witness that bag of money? And did Governor Fubara really did order the burning of the House of Assembly? Mr. Hunwowo, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Well, I'm asking if you witnessed the bag of money claimed by Dr. Nweke. What's your side of the story?
Well, I want to tell Nigerians that Dr. George Wike, who was the former head of service, has misled Nigerians by telling them a story that is not true. Well, you know that our governor is a civil servant. He was a civil servant before he became the governor. And he's a very quiet person and a very humble man. So what George Wike is telling Nigerians is not true and is false. He did mention that he was in government house that night. And I could remember that was a Sunday. And me, Ambassador Chijioke, I was not seen around government house. I was not there at that point in time. So what he was doing was to play the script of his paymasters. And I want to also challenge Dr. Wike. Dr. Wike has served Rivers people for 35 good years as a civil servant. And you're coming to tarnish your reputation because of money. Trying to indict people, also indicting the governor. So that is not true. I cannot go and destroy an asset that belongs to Rivers State government. I can't do that. So I want to also tell George Wike furthermore that I should tell Nigerians the cloth I was putting on, how I was dressed on that particular day, and my conversation. You can't, come to mislead people because you want to please your paymaster. That information is not true and it's wrong. And as I speak to you, I've also ordered my lawyers to start processing against him in court. We'll meet in court. Somebody cannot just sit down because he's collected money from the other party. And what you need to do is just try to blackmail the governor, Edison, and I. Now, he did mention in his interview that Ambassador Chijioke, the former chairman of was there. You should tell the world what was the role I played when he said I was there. And that's it. That's a cooked up story. Just trying to malign my image, the image of the federal governor and the chief of staff. So nothing like that happened. I think he's being used by desperate politicians who want to, own our states, who wants to own Rivers State. So that information is not true and it's lie. I am not a member of the Rivers State Assembly. I am not a staff of the Rivers, so I can't go to the State Assembly Complex. State Assembly Complex is directly opposite the police headquarters, Moscow, Port Harcourt. And there are heavy security there. So how can people access there? I'm not working there. You have a right to enter there to get access to the place. The answer is no. So George Wike is not telling Nigerians the truth. He's lying. And I want to also advise him to please apologize to our governor because I saw George Wike to be a man who has conscience, who, with his age, about 65 years old, should not be doing this kind of thing he's doing. He has children. Even the doctor just got married about 2 weeks ago. And the same man is coming to the national television to tell Nigerians lie. And you can see the video where people are writing for him, telling him to mention our names. So I want to advise him, please, he should please apologize to our governor and did apologize to us because that information is not true.
The last time we spoke, I recall that you are a strong ally to Governor Fubara, and at the time you spoke passionately about your support for him. It was a Sunday night. You were not at the State House as you claimed. But what kind of relationship do you have with Mr. Governor? Do you meet with him to discuss issues as regards governance?
Well, I am very close ally of the governor, and let me tell people, there's no amount of intimidation that will make me leave the governor. There's no amount of intimidation, no amount of blackmail that will make me leave the governor. I stand for justice. I stand for the truth. What we are saying is rescue Rivers. It's not all about Governor Fubara. It's all about the destiny of a generation of our Rivers people, not about the governor. Because if we allow this happening in our state to continue, it's not going to affect the government. It's going to affect me, affect my children, and affect the future of Rivers people. That one man wants to own our state. I am aware that the person is from my local government. So I am very close ally to the governor, and I will not, like I said before, I will not betray Fubara. No amount of pressure from anywhere will make me betray him. I'm very close to him, and I will remain loyal and committed to the end of this course. So we'll also discuss the issue of governance in Rivers State. Let me tell you, Rivers State is too big for one man to own as an estate. So for us, I want to advise. We also know that there are most people who are like George Weke still with us. In less than no time, God will continue to expose them, because a man cannot help you at the top payback time. We are trying to tell what Nigerians that is associated with the militant. You can see what George Weke is saying, that he met the governor, he sat down with the governor talking about Bala Muhammad. Let me tell you something. The function of the head of service is to coordinate the secretariats, transfer directors, permanent secretaries. He doesn't even have any business to do in government house. George Weke cannot even sit down where the governor is discussing with prominent Rivers outside politicians. When Bala came to Rivers, when they swore us in as council chairman, he later came back for the commissioning of Omoma internal route. So what is George Weke actually saying? That he has access to the governor, he has secrets of the governor, and you can see that his head of service does not have access to even the finance of Rivers State. So you cannot say that the man is telling lies. So I want to appeal to people that they should disregard about what this young man is saying, and the way he's going, he has already finished his generation. Let me tell you what he has done. Even his children, he has started to, with his name, he has made a name for himself, but coming to destroy the name because of peanuts.
It's interesting the way you have put it, that someone cannot help you and then you turn your back against that person. That's the exact narrative we hear as regards what has happened between former Governor Wike and Governor Fubara, right? Your government has now been suspended. Your election has been upturned. I was thinking that on the mind of politicians in Rivers would be the need to sit across the table and to mend broken walls if this state of emergency is going to be upturned. Is that priority for the Fubara camp?
Yes. What has happened in the state, the president declared state of emergency. I will know we're going to go back to the round table to discuss the modalities for peace. But we're not going to sell our state in light of the peace with our people. The future of Rivers people is very, very paramount. Like you see our governor is a very quiet person and he's very focused. And you look at him, he's a man that has conscience. So, like I would tell people, Mr. President has declared state of emergency, we have a sole administrator, we are supporting the sole administrator in bringing back peace in our state. The governor has made frantic efforts. When the Supreme Court gave that judgment, I said, look, I will do whatever the Supreme Court has asked me to do. And the governor wrote to the assembly members, I am coming to present this budget. They locked the governor outside. The facility they were operating belongs to Rivers State government. Now, the governor also wrote another letter. Please, I'm also coming to present this budget. What they did was, to turn down and say, look, and what they want is crisis. But by the grace of God, Mr. President, in his wisdom, now intervene by, bringing that to say, because this faith would have been bloody. Because the governor has said, look, I want to present, he's the governor of our state, for God's sake, for crying out loud. And he said, look, I want to present this budget. And they said, no. And the man said, I'm going to do whatever the Supreme Court has asked me to do. But we are open for discussion. We want peace in our state. We want our state to move forward so that Rivers people can enjoy governance in our state. Yeah,
I hear you. You are open for discussion, but I wonder if you're willing to bend a little bit backwards, because it's the same narrative prior to the state of emergency. You don't think if nothing changed as to your position on this matter, then nothing is going to change when you get to the table?
Okay, well, let me say that my position is this. Whatever that will bring peace in our state, we are going to do it. Because Rivers people voted for His Excellency, the governor of Rivers State, and they are expecting a lot of things to be done by the governor. So, like I tell people that we are open for discussion. Whatever that is going to bring peace in our state, I will be part of it and I will support it. So, what we want is peace. They should allow the governor to complete his tenure. They should allow the governor to govern our state instead of causing crisis here and there, using the forces, external forces, to say, look, the governor is a militant, the governor is this, the governor is that. And let me tell people that our governor does not have affiliates with any militant group, with any group. Okay, I see that with him, we discuss. Our governor is not that kind of person. So I will appeal to Nigerians that we want peace in our state, and in less than no time, we believe that our governor will be back as the governor of Rivers State. But what we want is peace, and genuine peace. Nobody should, impose anything on our governor to say, look, you must do this. But for us, we are going to continue to support him. We don't have anywhere to go to. We are going to remain loyal and committed to Fubara. I am not a man that betrays. I can't betray His Excellency the governor, because he has also helped me. So I will remain with him and also tell the public, like I said before, I am here to only speak on the issue concerning the former head of service who has told himself to I don't know what to use. I don't want to abuse him, but he has told himself to be used by desperate politicians in our state.
All right.
To be
let us take,
at this point
Mr. Howell, let us take a short break, and we're going to get back to this conversation. I hear you when you say you cannot betray Mr. Governor, but you know, some said that what you have done is to betray your former godfather, the former governor of the state, and perhaps that's also the destiny of the current governor. But stay with us. We'll be back with more. Former chairman of Obiakpo local government area in Rivers State, thank you for staying the course on the program. Let's get back to the press statement read out by the former head of service in Rivers State. Dr. Weke did claim that he resigned because he couldn't condone Governor Fubara's actions. Did you notice any unease among officials about the governor's methods, especially with the burning of the House of Assembly? Mr. Ho, can you hear me?
I can hear you very well, sir.
Well, I'm asking if you noticed any reaction from officials in the State House following the demolition of the State House of Assembly, as claimed by the former head of service.
Well, that day was a Sunday. I think I was in my house, and immediately I finished. When I got that information that the assembly was was burnt down. The next morning, His Excellency the Governor immediately went to that facility and made a statement. Also asked the police officials, those who are involved in that burning down of that assembly. The governor was there. The video is everywhere. Even the police also attacked the governor on his way to that complex. So it's not something that is hidden. Everybody in Rivers was aware of what happened. The governor was there and made a press statement. Also, told the police, Rivers State Police Command, to immediately investigate those who did this act. I was in my house, and that Monday the governor visited there and also made a press statement. So, for George Weke to say he saw me on Sunday night that the governor brought a bag of money and gave to this lady, these are lies and should not be taken serious, because I don't know where that is coming from. But I want to also appeal that the police authorities should also investigate George Weke to furthermore know what that was involved. Where were we that night? What was I putting on? Because we need to know exactly why he is doing all these things, trying to blackmail us because he was giving peanuts. Yes.
The Supreme Court already fined Mr. Governor for the demolition of the House of Assembly. A fine I'm aware he has already paid. Perhaps the Fubara administration will need to bring out more evidence to substantiate the claim that he wasn't involved in the burning of that facility. But let's talk about your role in all of this. As former chairman of local government area, how do you respond to allegations of public funds being used for political warfare? Recall that the governor himself, was quoted to have said a lot of money has been wasted on both sides in the course of this misunderstanding. Mr. Ho.
Hey.
Well, I'm asking that as former local government chairman, how do you respond to allegations of misappropriation of funds during this fight between the big stakeholders in Rivers? The governor himself was quoted to have said a lot of money have been wasted.
Well, the governor said a lot of money has been wasted because during this period of 1 year and 1 year and now, we have this crisis going on. You can tell that a lot of money has gone out. A lot of people are coming in, bringing different ideas from the two camps. People are collecting from here and there. Those who are sincere, those who are not sincere, like the likes of the former head of service, who said the governor has done that. Also part of those who have also looted our state in the past. But there's no problem. Like I said before, I agree with the position of the governor that a lot of money have wasted. And he's also, that was, he said, look, I am going to present the budget. I'm going to do these things, distribute what I've said. Instead of us running head task, let us bring peace back to our state. So that is what we are doing before the state of emergency was declared.
If money have been wasted, you don't think that's a criminal offense? Because these are not just politicians' money. These are taxpayers' monies that usually should be accounted for. You don't think that's the governor acknowledging that he has committed an offense?
The governor has not committed an offense. What are those people who sit down in, what are those people who sit down in Abuja and sit in Abuja, do press conference, wasting millions of naira? It's not a criminal offense. Okay, I'm trying to understand your position. Are you saying that the fact that the other camp spends money justifies the misappropriation of funds in Rivers State? Let me tell you, before now we have a speaker of the state assembly. Every fund that is spent in the state pass through due process, because after that we have a speaker, the right of veto Okojumbo. Then before the speaker made this pronunciation, so the budget passed, the money that is being spent passed through process. But Mr.
Governor publicly said money has been wasted. Is there another interpretation to that?
Please come back again. I can't hear you very well.
Mr. Governor publicly acknowledged that money has been wasted. Public funds has been wasted. I'm asking if there's another interpretation to that.
I don't have an answer to that, sir.
That's the point I'm making, that you don't think he has publicly acknowledged that he has misappropriated the public funds, you know, that was in his care under oath.
The governor cannot misappropriate public funds. Every money that is spent is there for you to say Rivers State. We have a lot of projects that is ongoing, a lot have been completed. You see the government commissioning projects on daily basis in our state before the state of emergency came up.
Well, Rivers State is now under, you know, a sole administrator. Before we go, what do you make of the current state of governance in the state under the sole administrator?
Well, the state is very quiet and people are going about their normal business to ensure that Rivers State is very peaceful. And the sole administrator is also trying, inspecting all the projects being started by the governor of Rivers State, Fubara. He has also said that the governor has paid contractors. He's not owing anybody. So the contractors need to complete their job so they can hand over those jobs to the state government. But what also appeal to Mr. President to please hasten up so that they can recall back the government, so that activities in our state can kickstart and things can go back normal the way we were before.
How optimistic are you that Governor Fubara and former Governor Wike will be able to come together to make this happen?
We are believing with the president will intervene and see what's going to bring both parties back together for peace to remain in our state. How people are going to enjoy the dividend of democracy.
Chijioke Honwo is former chairman of Obiakpo local government area in Rivers State. Thank you so much for talking to us on the program today.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for being a part of our maiden edition. We're back tomorrow with another exciting edition. The Ipman president was slated to be on this show. We'll get back to him and see if we can continue that conversation